fragrance flankers that I think are better than the originals. I'm going to go through a lot of famous fragrances and a lot of sort of best sellers and share my thoughts on why I prefer the flankers over the originals. I would love to know how you feel about my choices and which you prefer, so make sure you put that in the comments. So let's start with one of the world's best-selling, if not the best-selling fresh fragrance. This is Armani Aqua di Gio. This is without a single doubt a nice fragrance. The original Armani Aqua di Gio is a nice freshie for sure, but I do prefer some of its flankers over the original. And I just remembered I gotta do my Armani Aqua di Gio comparison, but here's the thing, I pretty much prefer all of these four over the original. So it really doesn't matter if we go with that sort of a smoky freshness of Profumo or one of the most versatile, classy and elegant fresh men's fragrances ever made, Profondo, or the new Parfum, which I'm a big fan of. I know a lot of people for some reason don't enjoy Parfum, but I think it's a fantastic fresh men's fragrance. Or the Armani Aqua di Gio flanker that gets the most compliments, the sort of a fruity, fresh and woody Armani Aqua di Gio Absolute. So in a nutshell, I prefer any of these over the original. I would love to know how you feel about the original Armani Aqua di Gio, so make sure you comment. Next up, a modern classic. I think it's a fantastic fragrance. I also think it's probably one of your sort of a safest bets to spray on when you are going on a date. Most who get a whiff of it thinks that it smells fantastic. This is YSL L'Homme. Yeah, warm, spicy, woody, a bit of freshness to it. This is definitely a fragrance I feel it's pretty much impossible to go wrong with. L'Homme smells great, and this is a fragrance that will make any man smell good. However, I do prefer L'Homme Bleu Electric. This is also aromatic, a bit spicy, a bit fresh and woody, but this doesn't feel as warm as L'Homme. So yeah, this feels like it has a bigger dose of freshness to it, so I don't feel it's as warm and spicy as the original L'Homme. I also feel it has a much bigger dose of sexiness to it. I think a lot of guys probably disagree with me on this, maybe you as well, but I definitely enjoy L'Homme Bleu Electric more than the OG. Moving on to a men's fragrance line, I think is absolutely fantastic. I also feel it's very, very unique, thanks to Guerlain's sort of a signature almond note. This is the fantastic Guerlain L'Homme Idéal, the EDT, this is the EDP, and this is the Extreme. So I'm gonna link to my Guerlain L'Homme Idéal comparison video above, so please make sure to check that one out. The original L'Homme Idéal EDT is a great scent, and I also feel that it's the most versatile out of these three. But I do prefer the EDP and the Extreme over the OG. These two smell even better, and I'm gonna say these two are also sexier. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to make someone angry with what I'm about to say about the classic Davidoff Cool Water, the EDT. This is fresh and aquatic. Now, I don't think the original Cool Water is a bad fragrance. However, I do prefer pretty much any of the flankers over the OG. I definitely enjoy wearing the flankers over the original, and I really gotta do a proper comparison of these and the other ones I have. But I do think, at least currently, that the sort of a fresh and coconutty intense and the sort of a newer Parfum are two of my sort of a top favorites. The Parfum is awesome. It's really not an original kind of scent, but it's one of those sort of a dumb reach that you can use every single day that's extremely mass appealing and a compliment kind of scent. I think the Intense is also a great scent. That combination of freshness and coconut together with its performance makes me choose it over the original. So I want to know how you feel about these. Do you agree? So next up, a bestseller you probably already know everything about. You probably own a bottle of it or know someone who owns a bottle of it. This is Paco Rabanne 1 million. This thing right here gets a lot of hate, probably because it's such a popular scent. I, however, even though I don't use it that much nowadays, feel nothing but love for it. I have so many fun and sometimes weird and crazy fragrance memories with the original EDT. However, I do prefer the flankers over it. Choosing my absolute favorite 1 million flanker is not easy, and I should probably do an updated comparison featuring the newer ones. 1 million Privé smells amazing. This is probably at the top. Lucky smells amazing as well. Elixir is a wicked mass appealing compliment getter. Parfum smells so different, and this thing right here is very addictive. There's something about parfum that I absolutely love. I also think it's really cool that they created something quite unique with it. And the new Royale is amazing as well. So there you go, I do prefer these 1 million flankers over the original. Next up, two fantastic men's fragrances. This is Gisada Ambassador and this is Gisada Ambassador Intense. I'm gonna link to my comparison between these two above, so please do check it out. Both of these are compliment getter fragrances that I absolutely love wearing. I smile every single time I spray on the original Gisada. Now I know that the OG Gisada is the favorite of many, but I do prefer wearing Ambassador Intense. Make sure to check out my comparison of these two and comment with your favorite. I do prefer Gisada Ambassador Intense. The OG, however, is a great fragrance. Let's move on to one of my most complimented scents ever. This is a fragrance I feel is quite versatile. I'll wear it throughout the year to pretty much any occasion. And this thing right here is so attractive, it gets a lot of compliments from both women and men. This is Armaf Club de Nuit Intense Man, and it's a clone of the famous Creed Aventus. I do feel that it's a pretty well-made clone. It's definitely not a perfect clone, but it's good enough for me. And the performance of these, at least on my skin, is better than the original. I think all of these smell great, and I've been through so many bottles of the original. However, I do prefer both the EDP and the limited edition over the OG. I did a comparison of these three. I'm gonna link to that video above, so please do check it out. The OG is a great scent. The EDP is a bit smoother and slightly different, and the limited intense is even smoother and slightly different. Moving on to Carolina Herrera and a line of men's fragrances I feel is very underrated. This is the Bad Boy line of men's fragrances, and this is the original EDT. The original smells great, and I do know that the original Bad Boy EDT is the favorite of many. I, however, prefer Bad Boy Cobalt and the Extreme over the OG. Bad Boy Cobalt is a great mix of woodiness, sort of aromatic freshness, and a sexy dose of fruity sweetness. The only sort of a bad thing about Cobalt is its performance. Cobalt is a compliment getter, but only if you spray it properly. If they would improve the performance of Cobalt, this would be an absolute banger. Extreme goes in a very different direction compared to both Cobalt and the original EDT. This is a lot warmer, quite spicy and quite sweet. The original Carolina Herrera Bad Boy smells good for sure. I do, however, prefer the flankers. So next up, the compliment getters with the ugly bottles. I do, however, know that some of you feel that these are fantastic bottles. This is the original Paco Rabanne Phantom. This is so underrated and so hated. Every single time I mention Phantom, I get a comment saying how much that person hates this fragrance. This, however, is a compliment getter. This is a new Paco Rabanne Phantom. Paco Rabanne Phantom Parfum is basically a woody and vanillic scent with lavender, and I do feel that this has a lot more depth to it compared to the original. There's also something in Phantom Parfum that I find very, very addictive. The OG, crazy underrated, a compliment getter and smells great. I do, however, enjoy Phantom Parfum more. Let's move on to Armani Stronger With You. The original is a fantastic compliment getter. This smells really good, and I feel that for this kind of scent, this is actually quite versatile. I absolutely love wearing, as you can see, this thing on its own, and I also enjoy using it for layering. I can't remember how many bottles of Armani Stronger With You I've been through, but as you can see, I do enjoy it a lot. However, I do prefer some of the flankers over the OG. And to just highlight two of them, This is Armani Stronger With You, absolutely. This is definitely the most badass in the entire line. This smells absolutely fantastic. And this is Armani Stronger With You leather, which is basically one of the world's most mass appealing leather scents ever made. Next up, one of the most iconic men's fragrances. This is Jean Paul Gaultier Le Mal. This is a fragrance I feel is often overlooked with all the fantastic Le Mal flankers. The original Le Mal is a fantastic fragrance that I absolutely love wearing, and this is a fragrance that even those who usually are not into fragrances enjoy getting a whiff of. However, I do enjoy Le Mal Le Parfum more, which is one of my fragrances for life, and the new Le Mal Elixir. Le Mal Le Parfum and its combination of spiciness, powderiness and vanilla is absolutely wicked. This is an extremely mass appealing compliment getter that you simply cannot go wrong with. And this thing right here is incredibly sexy and definitely one of the best men's fragrance releases this year. I want to know how you feel about these and if you prefer the originals or the flankers. Please like this video, thank you, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe, make sure you hit that notification button. Make sure you check out the videos over there, and I'll see you in the next one.